It looks like there may have been one encounter with the triggerfish. There's a herd of hermit crabs right there. That particular emerald crab seems to have lost a nub. Sponge City is still Sponge City over there. See if I can get a fuck. Well, that's not working because glass is reflective, dumbass. Anyways. So yeah. This is like the tank that time forgotten here. I need to try to weed out that damn Callirpa again. I still have not budgeted out the massive water change that it's going to take to swap over all my algae rocks into one tank, my Callirpa rocks into one tank, and keep my coral in the other. Because it is going to take a shit ton of water. Because moving rocks means thorough siphoning. Because wherever there's a rock sitting on sand, underneath that rock is a detritus cesspool. You keep your gravel siphoned around the rocks as best you can. You try to get under them a little. But when it comes to the big rocks that I'm talking about moving, we're going to need to do a serious water change. And then we're going to need to do another water change. And probably another water change. Because having moved those rocks around, everything's going to be having like a mini cycle. It's not just going to be the bacteria on those rocks that are affected, but because of that bacteria die-off and migration and basically the war that I'm going to trigger among the bacteria colonies, there could be a series of smaller fluctuative cycles. But you know, maybe it might cause my zinnias to come back, because at this point I've got so much Callirpa growing that there's no nitrates available for the zinnias. That's what zinnias like, is high, well, not high nitrates, but they like a little bit of persistent nitrates, and they like extremely high iodide levels. Which again, I'm also not maintaining quite as much as I used to. And then the plants compete for that too. The plants absorb iodide. Anyways. So, who all's rejoined? Just Conway? We had a second viewer for a second there. But it might have just been a trollmander. Oh, Dow Jones is back down another 600 points. 660. Hmm. Well, isn't that lovely? So the topic of the day is, in their truest form, well, the topic of this broadcast that I briefly brought up in the last broadcast, as sort of representing the time at which America had almost achieved its potential due to the profound visionary living document that is our Constitution, and how it allowed civil rights to progress every step of the way. It was the separation of powers, the co-equal branches of government put to the task, coming through for the people. And making us, as we progressed, into more of exactly what Christ said we should be. And whether you're comfortable with a joining of religion and state, we're not talking about religion. When you're talking about Christ, you're talking about actual spirituality. And people need to stop being afraid to define that. You're talking about God, and his Son, his incarnation, his flesh self, guiding us. What makes a religion is how you interpret different structures, and how different structures of men having power over men taking the place of spirituality. One interpretive view used to form a structure, form an organization, form an agenda. That's the religion they were talking about separating from. But having God as their founding light, having God's word as their guiding principles, is as obvious as their use of God as being the creator and providing us with those inalienable rights that the Constitution is meant to protect. And essentially, when you go attacking the existence of God, you're attacking the Constitution. You're attacking America. You're trying to nullify our foundational document that has kept us together, that has helped us progress, that has given us reason to empathize with each other. You can't take God out of this equation, because it's God who gives us the rights that the government is supposed to protect. It's not the government gave us this right. It's the government's job to enforce those rights. RT America. Hackers threaten to reveal 9/11 secrets. Oh, I'm sure they do. I bet you that's making Trump nervous. That's Russia saying we're gonna stab you in your back if you fuck with us. Now, if you take the Fox News version of Christianity, or if you take some religious, prejudiced, dogmatic version of Christianity, hell no should that be a model that a government's based on. But if you take what Jesus actually said in its entirety, if you understand that gay and lesbians should be judged the same as others, it's about 50-50 with them, just like the rest of you. That's what Jesus said, basically. One will be taken, the other will not. That's a way of saying such a thing to people whose Old Testament traditions would have them stone you for it. So yes, it's a roundabout way of saying for it, but consider the audience. Anyways. So who's there? What do you think about that? The golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Isn't that kind of the founding principle of democracy? You want to have a say-so, so you give others a say-so. You want your say-so to continue to exist. You want to continue to have your rights, so you got to fight for the rights of others. Do unto others what you would have them do unto you. Not do unto others as they do unto you. Not karma, not revenge, not eye for an eye. Don't twist it. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Somebody's throwing shit at you. You don't throw shit back at them. You should probably tell them you shouldn't throw shit at people. Maybe that's all it'll take. Oh, you mean people don't like this? Okay, I'll stop. Smelled good to me. Everybody likes their own cooking. Really? Just deleting my icons, huh? Roman the Perpetual War showing coral on the backdrop. Apparently my face is just too pretty and they can't stand it. I don't know. How good they found the guy who killed the 3 children in Texas. That crash in Houston made the national news this morning. I get the feeling that one will too. Oh, there it is on Associated Press already. I think I already made the argument a little too well. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about. Shit. Apple can't sell their shit in China. And eventually, people are going to not want to buy products made by American companies overseas. How long are we going to do that? How long is that going to be a thing? Where you get to be a rich American asshole overcharging Americans for shit that you got some fucking kids in some Asian country making for you for pennies on the dollar. People need to start realizing that is a temporary business model. See, what happens is you're going to wind up destroying the country that you're in. Then you're going to be left with nothing but the foreign market. The foreign market's going to wind up demanding better pay for their workers, and then you're going to wind up with no market. My plan is to create a new market and to put the wow back in cell phones. Oh, and speaking of like companies doing it wrong, I think I figured out what Square Enix did wrong with Final Fantasy. Like they did it wrong and they did it right. Like they emphasized the wrong thing, I think. And they should have done a different thing with the same thing. Let me explain. Lightning Returns, for instance. I could actually see a simple re-release of the same game that would be so much funner to play if it was just a fucking 2-player game. Not online. Like, with a real friend. You know, like, you want to come over to my house and play a video game? Not like, here's my screen name. We'll stay up late until we need to watch porn. Or see, what you do is you make real friends and you go play video games at their houses. And one day you might finger bang their sister or something, you know? You could meet real girls. Better yet, oh, they might have a sister that likes to play video games too. Oh, it's your soulmate. Anyways, here's the finger banging sister's friends. Or friend sisters. Well, for me, it was sister's friends sometimes. So imagine, like, even re-released retroactively. Okay, what a cool thing. Just gimmick-wise. Just like, oh, they're doing this. Nobody's done that shit for a while. Oh. Everything wants to be online because everything's got to be about side game shitty action and collecting information and selling it on people. And, you know, make a good video game and charge me a lot of money for it. That's what I say. Make your fucking money the way you're supposed to make your money. And just make it better. If I could be going through the beginning stages of Lightning Returns and, like, you know, like, I'm playing Zaz and my wife's playing Lightning, and then, like, you know, like, I'm playing Hope and she's playing Snow, and, like, Fang and Lightning, like 2-player, like, you know, with like 2 controllers, you know, like how they used to do, and like, you know, like you have like a bunch of different wires run across your floor. Only it'd be easier now since we have wireless controllers. But for some reason we don't have 2-player games anymore, even though theoretically it should be easier to hook up like fucking 8 controllers. Why? Why? Something is incentivizing companies to destroy our social order. And it's not healthy. There seems to be people incentivized all over the place. Incentivized to destroy religion because, you know, you can hand around that offering plate and get yourself a Cadillac. As if Jesus were Elvis going around. New Cadillac, new Cadillac. Man is saved by faith not works. New Cadillac. Just keep thinking your happy thought and clap your hands and you can fly. New Cadillac. Tell them little old ladies to send them all your money. New Cadillac. They don't need a doctor. They just need to be happy when they die. New Cadillac. Obamacare is just an instrument of the devil trying to get you to not send money to your televangelist saviors. New Cadillac. It's just a plot from the devil. Trying to get you to go see heathen doctors in their death panels. When you should just put your faith in the form of a check for $938 and send it to me right now. So God will give me a new Cadillac. Anyways, that is not Christianity. And that is certainly not American. It's cultism and con artistry. Faith yields works, else the faith does not exist. So you cannot have faith without works. It's the manner of your works that determine your faith, however, because if you do your works to be seen of men, then you have your reward. That is the wisdom of Christ. And that is the wisdom of this country when it all comes down to it. We don't just do the right thing when people are watching. America is about doing the right thing when people aren't watching. And there's a lot of propaganda about us being all shadow warriors, CIA, Illuminati, and all that. It's nonsense. That's what the enemy, who actually is up to such things, has made us think, just as another wave of paranoia, just as another way to divide us against ourselves. Anyways. Conway, you here? Anybody feel like chatting? Shit. It's supposed to be a discussion. You know, I should fucking know better. Apparently, insomniacs aren't allowed on YouTube. It's just me. I'm the only insomniac. Even though it's all over the world. Nothing. No. You know how Easy Reefers isn't a catchy name at all, you know? You know, the topics of discussion here are never interesting, you know? Nobody would ever just, like, click and see what's going on. Sure. No. whether the adjective American in its non-hypocritical form, in its essence, means the same thing as Christian. Are you fucking kidding me? Hackers released 9/11 files. Are they released them past tense? What is this bullshit? Rick Sanchez.
On New Year's Day, they threatened to release documents from the 9/11 litigation and investigation files. To those who don't want those documents released to the public domain, pay us, he said, in Bitcoin if no less. Likewise, to those who do want
They're trying to extort money in Bitcoin.
pay us. If you're on YouTube, that segment will be linked in the description below. Well, later last night, Capsule, those documents that talks about the Dark Overlord released two of what they call checklists. They want this release to serve as proof that what they're saying is true. The parties involved should comply with this checklist. More on this, let's talk now. It's an interesting one, so maybe not sure that we can get to this course. So they say, look, we got the goods. We're proving it to you. It's a document that we've now released to show that we really mean business. So please, tell me, tell us, what are they showing?
How about they just say Trump and Silverstein were friends? There you go. That's the fucking information that they don't want out.
Some of it was confidential, but none seemed to impose any new liabilities, and nothing yet has been related to who knew what when, or whether or not this was an inside job type thing. So it's basically a kind of a giant yawn for me so far. We got some settlement disclosures, but nothing earth-shattering there. It's basically a bunch of giant corporations and insurance companies trying to push costs on the damages or wrongful death claims onto someone else who would harm the pay. So it really does, it feels like they have to law firm or firm what they claim is basically what they have to prove there. But this really is an extortion campaign. The target of this extortion campaign seems to be that law firm or firms. And by the way, law firms will probably comply with FBI who is investigating the Dark Overlord because they have so much news.
There's so much to talk about, and there's so many
Okay. So, apparently these documents that got released were regarding, I'm going to go ahead and say what might have been a shell corporation used to make a payment to, say, Larry Silverstein, so that he could use his power of attorney and purchase the Trade Center. And those civil documents, apparently, hacked into a law firm, just might show a particular individual who you might know for being both friends with Larry Silverstein and for using shell corporations to make payments. It must be getting pretty bad when the people who set you up start blackmailing you for money in Bitcoin. That's fucking priceless. I think this whole thing was worth it just for that. Just for that. Oh, man. Like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? You helped take down the trade centers, and you didn't go disappear on a fucking island somewhere? You stayed and let them keep suggesting your actions, and you thought you were going to make out on top, Trumpy. You thought you were going to... Oh, God. How fucking dumb. How many types of dumb can one person be? You know, like some people fall out of the ugly tree and hit every fucking branch on the way down. But there must be some sort of a stupid tree. And on this tree, every branch is a different type of stupid. And this motherfucker fell down, climbed back up, fell down, climbed back up. He just wasn't done until every one of them branches was crammed all the way up his ass, just making. Okay. I'm done. I got a little excited there. Tourette's, I think Tourette's. Seriously? He's being blackmailed now. He's being fucking blackmailed. Hack the tram service website in Dublin. Boy, I'm not hungry. I don't want to be hungry. I've got shit to do. Coffee. Hi, Lacey. Oh, by the way. I'm so bad about that. I'll see somebody on here and I'll just like start like thinking about them in my head and just, like get back onto what I'm saying. Like forget to say hello. But yeah, Mr. Conway, thank God for pen and paper. Because my text messages aren't getting through whenever I talk about the business plan. Now, again, Russia, may I remind you, Russia and China, this is a way to open up the market. And I'm going to start the business by providing modular flood-proof buildings. What are you mad at? That's all I'm saying. Shit, Postal Service. I'm hand delivering. Basically, this guy's been privy to sketchbooks in person. That's it. And next phase is a business plan that I have written down in a sketchbook. Because lined paper is too complicated, apparently. But this is going to, it's just a comprehensive business plan involving many different businesses that all kind of stem out from the center. And, you know, I'd like to start slow, but I wouldn't mind being able to accelerate the process, you know? damn shame that this channel doesn't get any fucking recognition, so I don't have any income from it other than what you guys send me. Massive crash on Florida highway kills 7 people. I've been trying to see the car that was involved. Apparently, Gainesville. Hold on, let me mute this so I can turn that up. On the interstate, he said. Dingo. That's enough. Anyways. Like I've got the other, there's some other patents that are really cool things, that are really handy things that people need that are going to help people. One of which is going to keep diseases from spreading and shit. Like, you know, that's handy, right? But this, it's just basically a technology company at this point. It has a cell phone, okay? And the cell phone brings back the wow factor to cell phones. You know, it's been quite a few years since anybody gave a shit about your new iPhone. You know, oh, I got the 7. Oh, I got the 9. Oh, I got the 10. You know, like the 10 came out and it's just like, oh yeah, 10. Yeah, we're here already. Yeah. Oh, look, they used an X instead of a 10. And that it's like cliche at this point, you know? I've completely rethought the architecture and allowed for a modular series of devices that can be anything, which means you can turn your cell phone into anything, which means you can make your cell phone better in the way that you want it. So not everybody's like, oh, I got a big screen, oh, I got a bigger screen, oh, I got the biggest screen. Oh, we've all got the biggest screen. fuck, what do we do now? No, it's some people are gonna have big screen and sound. We've got a little screen and other different shit. I'm not gonna give too much shit away, but there's, you know, a lot of different things to do. Especially when it comes to business and shopping and home entertainment, home security, vehicles, equipment. One ring to rule them all. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, Trump is on Instagram now. Oh boy. Did he post the weird little Game of Thrones poster thing? What the fuck was that about? Anyways. So what else about Christ? Is an American value, or is a value that even like the entirety of the West should be proud of and should hold dear? Loving your enemies. When until America came around did anyone try to like bomb carefully, you know? I mean, not that that's what Jesus meant, but even when it comes to warfare, American is as Christian as it can be. Donald Trump's lack of Americanness is sort of an exemplar expression of how Christian American should be. In fact, the Republicans, the pseudo-Christians, the hypocrites themselves, their manifestation in governmental policy is in every way the opposite of Christian. And when it comes down to it, it's also un-American. They are for oligarchy. They are for a nobility class that has no nobility about it. Many of them so far as to say that they belong to a master race. Such a master race, they don't understand the problems of inbreeding. Apple's stock plummets 10% erasing $74 billion. Oh, wow. I'll tell you what. Mm, 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 mm. I could lower their production cost, increase the frequency of sales, and like also like okay, increase the frequency of sales enough to more than compensate for the lower actual retail cost of each individual sale. And like I said, lower the cost of the actual products so the margins are bigger as well. While also possibly, but otherwise just nearly eliminating material waste and the continued bad habit of exhausting and therefore driving up the price of minerals. And if I were to explain it any further, I would just be giving away too much. But it's everything. Basically, they get to make a little bit of everything. They get to make pieces of cell phones. Just think of it that way. That's almost completely wrong, but it'll give you a good enough idea of the concept. They get to make cell phone parts. And for them, the part will be the part that everybody wants. The iOS. So it's just a Lego. It's a Lego phone. And one of the pieces of Lego is an operating system. That's probably giving away far too much. But good luck making it work as well as I have. Because I've got years and years of interchangeable parts experience and fiddly fucking around with small things experience. I know what people do and do not want to fuck with. I know what will and won't last. I know what is and isn't marketable. And I have thought of so many different aspects of this that are just downright inspired. I just can't wait to piece my little Legos together. Anyways, I should really stop talking about this. Talk about flood-proof buildings. So, that's a Christian business model right there. Gonna put a bunch of carpenters to work. Keeping houses off of sand. Building houses on rocks so that they don't get swept into the sea. And so castles made of sand fall in the sea eventually. I just made a new configuration of the building. I forget what it was. I've got so many awesome designs, man. Like the way and the Lego thing. I really like my Legos. The freaking buildings go together like Legos, and I just, I keep playing around with all the different things you can do with them. Just like, whoa, look at that. That's cool. There are some considerably luxurious things you can do when you have such a stable design. That's all I'm saying. And lightweight and easy to deploy. Oh, and another thing I was thinking, Mr. Conley. It has been raining like it's fucking Ireland around here. Like it's been raining a lot. Just my yard has not dried out in as long as I can remember. It is just soggy shit down there. My aunt sent me a $100 Home Depot card for my birthday, and I went and spent it on wood and bricks to walk on. And I realized there's a whole nother thing. The most brilliant thing about the whole process that I have planned out, and I literally need to change it 0 in order for us to be just the most competitive possibly. I'm going to be able to work around rain. It's kind of hard to build a fucking house when it's raining. But the way I'm going to build the houses, they can go right up in the rain. Put raincoats on the guys and start propping it up. I'm not going to detail out the process too much, but there are no difficulties down the line. It all kind of takes care of itself. No change. I don't know if I thought of that before, or whether I was just like thinking of everything and it was just like one of the check boxes I ignored. But I know that I was definitely understating the value. I was undervaluing it. The ability to build a house like my grandfather did, basically, in a garage, in pieces, and then go out in the middle of a break in the clouds and just bolt the shit together. We should have uniforms like pit crews. Running out there with air wrenches and shit. Voot, voot, voot. House. But yeah. That right there is an original concept. It's combining all the concepts that make the business model work with the, well, with the design aesthetic that only I can really provide. But that modularity with the different patents and the different things that really make it work, and not relying on common, like parts and materials and assembly practices. Focusing on quality and craftsmanship and ingenuity. Like the carpenters I got ready to go on this shit, they're no joke. They're experienced, smart people. And they are all very excited. Like to the point where they bought me cigarettes again. And cookies. Bought me cigarettes and cookies. That's how I know I'm loved. Somebody go get me cigarettes and cookies. Anyways. So the whole idea that Trump can't be indicted is based on the idea that even if he shot someone, you couldn't put him in handcuffs because then he couldn't perform his job as president? Well, last I checked, that's what we had a fucking vice president for. That's what we had a line of succession for. For when the 25th Amendment came into effect, the president's incapacitated. Then the other people choose a successor, basically. But if I can think of one thing Comey did right, check this out. Let me redeem Comey in a theory. Completely redeem him. Completely exonerate him of any ill doing or of even so much as a fucking mistake. Of even so much as a flaw in his performances. Plural. Okay? One theory. when I was overconfident, or when I was trying to be a good little cheerleader, I was still worried as fuck that they were just going to steal it anyways. But when I was overconfident, they were not. Think about that. Comey made those announcements. Comey announced Hillary Clinton being investigated. He went against Justice Department guidelines where it mattered, knowing that they couldn't stop it, knowing that it had to play out with this special counsel scenario. They probably predicted that he would do the whole loyalty test and try to obstruct justice thing. They already probably had him on a lot of shit. And like he said, there was already the investigation going on. Comey didn't tell anybody for a long time. So knowing that they would need to indict a president, not only would it have been prudent for him to violate Justice Department guidelines, those very same guidelines are the ones that say that you can't indict a sitting president. Nothing in the Constitution or settled law actually does say that. And on top of this, taking a page out of my book, I like to walk up to a fight with a limp. You know? They don't say anything about the Trump investigation because they know they can't stop it. They know no matter, it doesn't matter what you say. They realize this because Russia had so much control over public opinion itself. So, he took a hammer, hit himself in the foot. Said, "Send me home." Meanwhile, he hid the keys to the car. Oh, shit. That is the wrong controller. What the? Are you fucking serious? They unplugged this shit and just threw it up on the couch, huh? Oh, for fuck's sake. I reset this stupid thing so I can control the right PlayStation with it. right. Okay. Oh, shit. Damn it, moving around activated my metabolism. Now I'm dizzy from hunger. So annoying. I have food. I just, it's over there and requires getting my teeth dirty again. And, like, I'm at the point where I clean my teeth every fucking time I eat. So it's not just eating. I gotta clean my teeth exactly as soon as I eat. So I can't get any infections behind all these broken fucking teeth of mine. Or else, it gets painful quick. Real painful, real quick. Anyways. Misha, Misha, Misha. What you doing, baby? Silly ass cat. What? Whose sock is that? I'm just gonna start, like, wearing socks again, just so I can leave them all over other people's shit. I don't even wear socks hardly ever anymore. I wear them, like, in the winter sometimes. Chances are I wear sandals. Another thing about foot washing, sandals. If you wear sandals and you don't have the little pads that we used to, or if you're in like a cold and arid environment, like cold and dry, and you don't sweat, soaking your feet is actually very beneficial. Not just washing them, but actually like letting them sit. Kind of takes the place of the sweating process. Anyway, how fascinating. Alright, now I'm just starting to have ideas that I want to write down. Shit. I gotta think about stuff I can talk about. Shit. Not like top secret invention shit. No. Like, if nothing else, when we get our first little real estate flips, I'm gonna have to open up a consulting business or something. Because all I gotta do to think of ways to increase profit and productivity and invent shit and solve problems is just say, go. And I just fucking narrow in on something and if you do that, so. And I know there's businesses out there who need that kind of expertise right now, because I've worked for them. And they used me for all I was worth. And that was when I was a dumbass kid. You know? I know so much about so many more aspects of so many different businesses now. Ooh. I just want to get my fucking hands dirty, you know? I want to get to work. And I don't want to just design shit. I want to build it. Like, I want a reason to get on like a GNC weight gain program and like gain muscles and shit. Oh, I want to be like that active. Where I got a personal trainer with a fucking PhD. Actual doctor fucking telling me what exercises I need to do to strengthen my fucking back up so I can actually stand and move shit around and paint and sand. And I like sanding. I like sanding until my fucking tendons feel like they're gonna pop out of my fucking arms. Like, I like sanding, man. I like sanding. Could you hear how fast that was? Ladies. Oh. Anyway. Speaking of Mr. Miyagi, I wonder, like, like when somebody puts their hands towards me and they feel my hand hit their arm. I wonder how much of what they're feeling comes from how much my mom used to make me scrub shit. Like, I didn't realize that other people's moms clean their houses for the most part. Until I got to work at a grocery store and saw, like, the cleaning skills of most people. Not so great. And when I would train people, I'd train a lot of fucking stock clerks, handbaggers, and all, you know, like, they'd send me a bagger just to train, just to do odd end shit in the back of the store, and then send them back. And, all right, he's ready. People, I don't even fucking remember them or their names. Like, not even faces. I just remember how well they scrubbed shit. Most of them not very well. I think the three best scrubbers were Katie Lesh, Alex Ordez, and that lesbian chick. Fuck is that lesbian chick's name? She like still had a beeper. That was wild. It is 1998. What the fuck you still got a beeper for? 99. Yeah. Might have been 2000 by then. I think it was 2000. She still had a beeper. People had cell phones by then. People had cell phones. Fucking beeper. She always wore khaki shorts. She wound up going from front end to the stock crew later. That's why I remember. And Katie wound up being a head cashier. Alex wound up being frozen food manager, and my friend for a good long while, who I still talk to actually. Alex Ordez, Alex Ordez, Alex. He might sometimes watch and just fucking just laugh his ass off. Alex is a peculiar cross between judgmental as hell and at the same time being non-judgmental at all. Like this motherfucker here, like harshly call it in like a humorous but harsh way, but then just like love him for it anyways, you know? Like that's what makes them awesome. Here's an example of how big somebody can get on just a little bit of steroids. Anyway, I don't know. Might not be. He's about the size of my dad, about the same build as me. And he and I would throw some fucking work up, man. And like what Sting he and I would throw some fucking work up. What stings the most about having my stupid fucking back injury is I can't even really mimic the thing that I used to do over and over again. This hurts just doing that. Why does that hurt just doing that? You know? Oh, it sucks. If you ever worked at a grocery store, you may have seen pallets of sugar or flour or water. Okay? Generally speaking, if it was either me and the store manager or the store manager and Alex or Alex and I back there, and occasionally some rare other people who could keep up, we would tell the other people to get the fuck out of the way and let us handle the pallet stacking. Because we had walls, we had a small warehouse, and then a walkway along the back hallway where we had walls where we'd stack shit off these pallets. So we'd wheel the pallet down the hallway and we'd stack it. A whole pallet of water or sugar or flour. Boom, boom, boom. 6 gallons of water in one box. Boom, boom, boom. Talk about a good workout, man. One pallet after another. Just fucking knocking it out. We did that 3 days a week at least. And then we started getting trucks on Sundays too. Used to be Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then the occasional Saturday morning truck. But the Saturday morning truck was always a light truck. You never had to stack that. Then we started getting heavy trucks on Sundays. Fucking sales on in that store must have went up in that late 90s period when I was there from probably 250,000 a week to 350,000 a week. And now it's pretty much dead. Everything's dead. The mall's dead. There's no more coffee shops. There's no more mad profit drawing people to the coffee shops. No more character. You know, by making all of our kids wear school uniforms, sure, maybe some of them, no, none of them at all ever found it harder to identify gang members. Okay, school uniforms have had no effect on gang activity. None. They'll find a way to tuck their fucking shirt or something. They'll find something. Okay? You know what you did? You made it harder for kids to make friends. In person, you know? Like that whole thing with multiplayer games. fashion was a multiplayer game. And you could go play that game at the fucking mall. You want to know why malls are dead? School uniforms. Period. Consolidation of resources. It's fucking Orwellian, it's communist, it's not American. Is it Christian? No. Did God create everyone to look alike? Act alike? Talk alike? No. And the idea that being of many races is some magical punishment. Sort of a misused half-truth at best. And perhaps that the truth that's remained consistent throughout history is a truth that's hidden in that story. That is, that the Babylonians have been the ones that have dispersed peoples and languages. But of course, by Babylon, I'm simply talking about a place, and what matters isn't the place, but who was ruling at the time. And that depends on whether you're talking about before or after the Scythians came. Before or after the Civil War in Sumer. Which Babylon? Which America? Which Russia? Etc. Anyway. I suppose I'll go ahead and wrap this one up. And get some food and a nap or something. I think I have to wake somebody up. In about an hour. So maybe I'll stay awake. Maybe I won't. I don't know. The alarm clock is going to be right there by my head if I take a nap, so. I know that's fascinating, like y'all fucking need to know that. Anyways. So the point is that religions are the denominations, the political hierarchies that cannot be interwoven in a collective society. But we need to recognize the separation so that we can recognize that Christianity actually is the core of what Western values are built on. It was Christianity that re-civilized Rome. And I mean, well, civilized Rome, but re-civilized Europe and made this empire of defensive warlord-like families that had been, reduced to sort of a armored imperialistic state because they were at their heels. Even when they were brought to destitution, it was Christianity that allowed America to be founded from that. It was those values that the people came here and found in common with each other. Not Judaism, Christianity. Even among those who call themselves Jews, their values are common with Christ, not Moses. Not like, burn the gay people and shit, or whatever. Don't eat shellfish. Anyways. The fundamentals of the basic historical connection between God and man used to not be a matter of speculation. They became a matter of speculation as the result of all the devastation we've suffered over the past 1,000 years or so. And we're really at risk of completely losing that. And before it's forgotten, we need to remember it. And without that, you're never going to see left and right come back to the table together and really work to solve all of our problems. And we've got some big, big, big problems that need solving. Thanks for watching, everybody, or whoever, or Conway, or whoever else was there, Lacey. The tremendous audience that YouTube allows me to have. Little private get-togethers. Like, y'all might as well just, come over and we just chat on the couch. Like, fuck. Anyways, whoever watches this in the future, appreciate you watching. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.